Good morning to you and hello. This is Cliff Graves from Train Well Boxing. Not Train Well, Train Well Boxing. Are you a baby boomer? Were you born in the 60s? Are you like me? Almost classified in the afternoon of our lives. Are you 60 years of age and over? Physical training, specifically strength training, which is achieved via progressive weight training, is in all probability the most important facet of everyday living. Let me give you an example. My mother and father are deceased, but Sarah, my wife's mother, is still alive at, I think she's 85, last birthday just gone in June. She has a husband, I think he's 90. Now he's an ex-farmer, so he's quite robust. But she now cannot navigate her way back into bed if she gets up to do a wee. Somehow, some way, she gets herself up out of bed. And they have the toilet facility nearby. But she cannot get herself back into bed. She can sit on the bed, but that's it. She lacks anything else. And there are myriads of the elderly that are in nursing homes that quite frankly shouldn't be. They're there before their time and shouldn't be. My wife and her sister, younger sister, and two elder brothers, they had a meeting to decide what they was going to do about Iris, her mum, my wife's mum. And none of them, the four of them, did not want her to be admitted into an old people's home. That would have separated her from her husband and not good. She is well in the mind, unlike my mother, who had to go into a home because sadly she succumbed to Alzheimer's, and it just became impossible for my dad to look after her. But in Iris's case, it is a motor problem. She has not got the strength. She has not got the strength to be able to get herself back into bed safely. So what they're going to do is they're going to get hold of one of these specially adapted beds that won't upset Lionel, her husband, that sleeps obviously by the side of her concurrently, won't upset him, but will elevate her up and then elevate her down. She'd have to operate the up-down controls, but we know that she is capable of doing that. Do you want to end up like that? If you are a manual labourer worker, almost now in your 60s, like me, I'm 61, coming to the end of your career, as it were, nearing retirement, done it all your life, in all probability, you won't need progressive weight training. But if you are sedentary for whatever reasons, you most definitely 100 times out of 100 will, without a shadow of a doubt. It doesn't matter where you live in the world, in the USA, in Australia, in New Zealand, in Europe, here in the UK, in Sweden, in Denmark. It does not change anything whatsoever. We have peaked, and now you could say that we are on the downward slope, as it were. I am as well as you, baby boomers. But I am prepared to do something about it via heavy, properly crafted, intelligent, progressive weight training. Now, what does that mean? Does that mean you have to go and join a gym? Well, you could do. Does that mean you have to employ a personal trainer? Well, you could do. But they are going to create dross within your training. A personal trainer has to, because they want to look good. If you're paying them 50 quid an hour or whatever, or in block for sessions, they can't just give you the simplistic exercises, which in actual fact we'll come to in a minute, are not simplistic. But it's just a simply crafted exercise regime. If you've got an outbuilding, if you've got access to a garage, fill it up with weights. And do you know all you need? You need a bench, cheap as chips, second hand, cheap as chips. Make sure that it's all structurally rather safe. You're not going to line it and it's going to collapse, and some shyster has sold you a bench, second-hand bench, and then gone off into the limelight somewhere, gone off somewhere. And this is terribly annoying. Do you see this keep flickering, this light? I don't know why it's doing that. Oh, let's try lights. See if that'll stop it. There it goes again. Very annoying. But you're after wisdom and knowledge, aren't you? So I could do this without presenting a video. I could do it via an audio. So, yeah, I do have a training regime that I am working on, and I am getting some really good results. It is based on Mark Rippetoe's starting strength. That's RIPPET Ripito, of Starting Strength. The gentleman owns a gym or gyms. I think he's based in Texas, I believe, somewhere. And I think the guy is so knowledgeable. But he kind of just says it's simple. But you've got to learn how to do these lifts that I'm going to tell you about in a minute. Three lifts. Low bar back squat, deadlift, bench press. That's it. 3 days a week. Those three exercises on non-consecutive days. So Monday, Wednesday, Friday, perhaps. Week 1, squat. Sorry, and I should have included overhead press, so I apologize. 4 exercises, not 3. Week 1, squat, overhead press, deadlift. Wednesday, squat, now overhead press, now deadlift. Friday, squat, back to overhead press, deadlift. Week 2, squat, bench press, deadlift. Wednesday, squat, bench press. Do you understand? So you alternate those 4 exercises, but you keep the bench press, you keep the squat consistent, and you keep the deadlift in there. And all you need is a barbell. You do not need dumbbells in any way. You do not. You do not. Now, Mr. Ripito, he has his way of doing it, and he has trained thousands highly successfully. And we at Train More Boxing have just tweaked it a little bit here and a little bit there. For instance, week 1, training session 1, 1 set of squats. Week 1, session 2, 2 sets. Week 3, until you've done 5 sets, and then you ramp up the weight. So you're doing a double progression with our method, whereby you're increasing the volume, whereby you're increasing the reps, the sets. On the deadlift, it's highly intensive exercise. And you simply must learn these exercises correctly, specifically the squat and most definitely the deadlift. The bench press is, you got it there and you just push it back up again, don't you? Whilst lying flat. The overhead press is a little bit more technical. So, yeah, approach Mark Ripito, Starting Strength. We are going to supply you in time. I've just got to get it all uploaded onto our website. Another alternative workout, which would specifically be towards baby boomers. That's me. If you're a 25-year-old, you might say, nah, I'm not going to do it. But I think you'd even get results out of it. I think even if you was a top world-class boxer, professional boxer, you'd get benefit out of it. Because we cut away all the dross. What did Bruce Lee say when he was creating Jeet Kune Do? Cut away all the dross. Because it's not necessary. Bang! There you are. Bang! There you are. There's a straight into the throat. And then a kick straight into the groin, a rising kick straight into the groin. When is that all that's needed to dismantle somebody? You cut away the dross, and so it is with strength training. You keep the methodology of it simplistic, but when you get under that bar, mate, you've got to have guts, you've got to have bottle to go where you haven't gone before. Meaning, you think on the fourth rep, that's it, I'm done. You carry it on, of course, in a safe manner. But the mind plays so much. The mind is very, very deceiving. The mind will say, hey, I'll quit. Don't. You'll know in your own body when that's it. We're not talking about training to failure. We're talking about getting another rep when you thought that's it, because a little bit of pain has come in, a little bit of discomfort has come in. Good discomfort, by the way. But you don't quit. We can talk more about that on how to do it properly. So, if you, this is disclaimer time, disclaimer alert, disclaimer alert, disclaimer alert. If you are concerned about your physical health, whether that's muscular injury or some form of illness, go and see an expert. Here in the UK, go and see your GP. Go and see your medical doctor. If you're in the States or whatever, go and see somebody and say, look, I'm 63 years of age. I'm not, I'm 61. I'm just saying. I'm 63 years of age and I want to start progressive weight training. What do you think, Doc? I bet you if you're of pretty reasonable health, they'd say, go for it. At that stage, you've got that clearance, or you might not need the clearance. I know 80-year-olds that wouldn't need clearance and say, yeah, I'll do it. They're like, yeah, I'll go for it. Yeah. Then we can talk again. I'm going to try and upload this baby boomers strength training routine for you. So it'll be on my site. But keep checking back here to Train World Boxing YouTube for nuggets of information. Can't wait. Seek out Mark Ripito Starting Strength. If you've got some form of muscular injury, illness, and you're over 60, even over 50, go and see your GP or the like. If you want to hold on for us, we will supply you with free information of the highest source and caliber. Why are we doing this, you might ask? Because we want to get to know you. That's why. We want to introduce you to our business, Train World Boxing, our sports apparel side, our nutraceutical side. But we want to gain your trust. And that means that we have to show that we are authentic, we are honest, we are professional, but we know what we're talking about. And we do, okay? So I hope you've enjoyed this video. You have a great day. Ciao.